Hello, my fellow attackers. This is PatAttacksU and welcome back to Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Now guys, last time we started the investigation of murder that happened, and we discovered a lot of things. We discovered the true identity of Mukuro Ikusaba, who is the 16th student of Poke's Peak we had no idea about, so that's cool. Anyway, so this time, it's the class trial. Let us begin. Whoa, Barker and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Was it high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you? Huh? What? Are you jealous?
Hey!
Or you're making up some creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourself. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up any time. And I imagined what was about to happen. I immediately tensed up and prepared myself, but we stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen, and then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it
Maybe
be?
he died again? What we should do? We should keep waiting here, or
what?
What?
Jesus!
Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that?
I made you wait? You've got our backs. You're the ones making me wait.
Huh?
In other words, I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't stop till everyone's here. Now can we?
What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've been waiting for you.
Sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting for 10 minutes now, so it's okay. I punished the one making us all wait, right? If y'all agree it's in a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now.
If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. Heard that voice and spun around to look. I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Kyoko! Oh, you're still alive? It's a ghost! No. Stop talking. Thank you.
If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
It's okay, there's no particular penalty for being late.
Is that
I made it
right?
here just fine. What school relation did I violate? Am I wrong?
You're so selfish, so spoiled! Alright, no penalty officially. But I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts into the elevator. I'll just be one step ahead of you.
When Monokuma was gone, you rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but they're not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right, now we gotta deal with the ghost. Told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Oh, looking directly at Coco, Barker stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. And after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Alright. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? Used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So,
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There weren't many monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body has been discovered. And when did you find out?
So...
Just now. Finished my search and came back down. Just in time to hear the class trial announcement. Took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you're on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
Use Monokuma's secret tool, which can operate any lock in the school. What? Kaku's account has been added to the...
just a second. Hey, what are you two doing? Before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
You can go over the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say its crucial moment is for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all, seems seemingly unconcerned, Coco made her way into the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? No, you're not. You're the last one left. Let's send into the elevator. Everyone's mad at Makoto. Yep. time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. And imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In the dusky darkness, no one said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After a immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. Its dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this! I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs have passed.
Thrills!
Let's go on with the
chills,
show!
Kills!
And so the curtain opened for the fifth time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, blah blah, a deadly class trial. Yeah, let's save. Oh, wait, set skills. Boom, extraordinary confidence. Nothing else. Alright, let's finish our preparations. Trial! Class trial. All rise! Let's do this.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
I'm aware.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
I die.
then I'll punish everyone
Yeah,
besides
we all die.
the
We all die.
blackened.
Guys,
and the one that
we're gonna go
deceived
with them.
everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Kyoko is right there!
Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
Oh, that's not a ghost.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Oh my god, this guy's crazy.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
Yeah. Important trait Kyoko has proved. Gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it,
Yeah.
the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
Yeah.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
No.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
No way to question this Kyoko. I can prove why they're stuck here in the case we won't move forward. No choice but to. It's time to actually talk about the. Okay, let's go. Make your argument. Oh. Tattoo on the right hand.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Wait.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Yeah, I know it is.
And she was wearing gloves?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing.
There she
No,
go.
that's wrong.
Trial narrative.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
Yeah.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Yeah.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right
yeah.
here.
But this guy is the
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? first, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
No. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. So it starts here. Let's actually try now. Ugh. Tattoo.
If Kyoko really is still alive,
Yes, she is right
then
there.
who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Yeah.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Haha, there we
No,
go.
that's wrong.
Hina, you don't suck. I'm sorry.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
No.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
Yeah, we get
She's
executed.
just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
her. I don't like her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dude, the other information you have. Alright, let's see.
I
Got it! Yeah.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Okay.
Fenrir?
Imagine that represents the image. It's a dog. It's a dog. Right. Wolves. There we go. Wolf. There we go. It's a wolf.
Now I
Very
understand.
simple. Very simple. Good job. Good job, guys. You created
The
it.
representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
Yeah.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Yeah.
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What? Are you saying the mastermind
Mastermind.
And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy
It's not the
title to
ultimate
me.
despair.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
Yeah.
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Yeah.
Usually when there's a
She's like a
scene where an
pawn.
important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character, which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Okay, whatever
Please
you say.
limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I wouldn't do
I
that.
have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record.
Okay.
The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place.
Yeah.
Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
Nah.
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Ooh.
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Impossible.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Two. Based on what there are two suspects. Code on
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there.
Ah.
So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden.
Okay.
However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me
Yeah.
and Makoto. That's why you're
boy.
able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
You saw six now are me and Kyoko. Dude, I can't let this stand. Somebody have to clear my name. That's something I'd
I
like
have
to say.
something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place.
True.
Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the
Very
murder
smart.
was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
Sometime around
The
9.
one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
Time at 9
I
o'clock.
got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
No, then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it's just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. We'll go and get the pickaxe and be back by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
Yeah.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh, yeah!
7:30.
Right around 7:30.
Yeah.
I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Murder happens between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. It then looks like this game has begun. Can't provide an alibi for that period, so that's just proving murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. That happened really clear when the body ended up in the garden. Alright. Argument. Figures. Fragments near the dead body.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Yep, I would love to object.
We've
Give me a
established a
minute.
time. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock and...
No,
How
that's
is it
wrong.
not supposed to figure that out? I'm confused. 10:30, huh? No, 10 o'clock.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
It
Oh,
had
that
to have
makes sense.
taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping
Only
wet,
the
in
top
fact.
half.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
You said it yourself.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean by denying the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Hey, this is not about you.
You're totally
It's not about
wacko.
you.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us what.
Prove it was a sprinkler without body wet. Have to hit Toko with certain evidence. Here we go. It's up. Yep, here we go. The moment of truth.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me?
No.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything!
There we go. Final strike.
How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it.
Yeah! Did it! Proved it.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Alright, she
The
wasn't...
top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely
Yes.
dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
Yeah, that's true.
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only
Yeah.
the top half was wet was because
Yeah, because you threw it on there because it was on fire.
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
Yeah.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
Yes.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So completely
So
innocent.
there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Here's the only one without an alibi. You know who the killer is. No, I refuse to believe it. If murder someone,
I'd
that's...
just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever, which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
That's true.
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
No.
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
Oh, yeah.
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all, and as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
What's with you?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have
the
avoided
tarp.
getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
Clever girl.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
True. Certain something. Oh, yeah. Tarp.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water.
Yeah.
In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words,
Yeah, makes sense.
to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Oh god, why did Coco say that? We make it look like the killer? I can't think about that right now. That tarp. It was used the way Coco said. Tarp touched the body, right? His body.
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
Can't worry about Coco's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Coco said. Alright, let's do this! Make your arguments.
By covering the body with the
before
tarp,
the explosion.
the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that
Oh
side
wait,
wet.
I should have...
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the... Of course it didn't get dirty! Of course it didn't get dirty!
Boom!
No,
Genius.
you're wrong.
What did I say? What could I say? What can I say? I'm a genius.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
Correct.
Yakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
True.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd
No,
used
it
it.
was dry.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Camouflage? Huh? Blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
Correct.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Oh no. The chicken.
I got it!
Oh, the chicken!
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
Chicken.
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
We have to have a class trial for the murder of chicken number 5.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken? And then covered the body with its blood? Man, That's messed up.
Yeah, we need to hold a class trial for the
Killing a
chicken.
living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
That's
I
not.
wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing
Where'd the
that
chicken
still
go?
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
True.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait,
It was
no.
backwards.
The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off.
Yes.
But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still,
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
You're making me stupid.
that's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
It's not possible. It is possible, but that's not what happened.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Still trying to entrap me. I don't understand. Disguised dead body.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one.
Yeah.
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it?
Neither.
Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh,
See? Pretty good idea, right?
no, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
no, it's suspicion falls on me.
It's one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Suspicion falls on me again.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
Yeah, suspicion falls on me again.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Yep, gave it to me. Give it to me. This is more important. Now we have a knife. What are we gonna do with it? We can let Toko keep it. That's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. What to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
Oh no.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
Yep. Couldn't be sure what exactly happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed.
Oh man, this is not looking
We
good.
found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000%
No,
convinced.
I didn't. I swear. Considering everything up until now, I should be able to make it clear and prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Make your argument. This guy's dead body. Explode.
the knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
No, I didn't.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No, wait.
Shoot!
Monokuma file. Let's check.
Well,
Getting stabbed is.
Yep, there we go.
no, that's wrong.
Yeah, I'm being bad at this.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't...
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Oh. Stabbed twice in the same spot? No, no way that's possible. Condition written down to everyone to see. Monokuma file. A single time.
I got it.
Monokuma file. There we go.
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Correction.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
It's a
They
frame.
probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her.
Yeah.
It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but
What?
what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
Nope.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Yeah, he doesn't know either.
I got it!
There you go.
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course,
We took out the bomb.
we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma.
Took out the bomb.
It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Yeah.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute.
Yeah.
They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto.
Yes.
And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
No.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through.
We
still don't know what
we
actually
still don't
killed
know
the
what-
victim.
Yeah, we don't know still.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
You need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. You need to concentrate.